Hi, welcome to the introduction of Compose GapFinder 2. In this demo I want to show you the typical problems that an operator can come across within the narrow web environment. Okay, let's have a look at this basic for-up imposition. Whether you're using an imposition software or doing it manually like me over here, you'll come across to the same problems every time. So when we look at this, you can see that the red lines is the imposition, the black line is the plate size. But when we actually look at this printable area now, you can see on the bottom that the orange, the blue and even the black is outside the printable area. So we cannot print this or this information will be lost during the press run. Okay, let's take a closer look to the black. On the bottom you can see that part of the black is actually outside the printable area. So there's only one solution for this, that's moving everything upwards. What we call image up in GapFinder. You can see that the black now perfectly fits in the printable area. So all that rests is now is output to the next process and save this as our first template. Next up is the blue. The blue is a little bit more difficult because we cannot move it up, otherwise the top part will be outside the printable area. But as you can see, we have some white spaces available inside the image. So we're going to try to put the gap inside of that. So we'll split the image, and that's what we call in GapFinder a split gap. To do the split gap, we're going to need a 6 up instead of a 4 up, as you can see over here, and actually put the image upwards so that the white space that we saw earlier fits on top of the printable areas, as you can see here now. If we look at our plate now, the images are inside the printable area, so we can output to the next process and save this as our second template. Next is the orange. We can't move the orange down or up or even do split gap, so there's only one solution in here. It's the two-plate lockup, which means we're going to make 2 plates of it. So we're actually going to split the image in 2 so that the first plate is the top part of it and the second plate is the bottom part of it. We move it a little bit away from the printable area boundary as well for the ease of the press operator. If you look at those two together now, you can see that it perfectly fits inside the printable area. So the same story here, output and save as the third and fourth template. So if we look now at our final plates, we can see that everything fits perfectly inside the printable area on the bottom here as well as on the top. But it looks far away from our first original image, but the marks are here as well, and you can see that these are being split and moved as well. So once we do a press run, these will all be combined again and have a perfectly printed document. Let's have a closer look how to simulate this on a press. Once the press starts to run, it will try to move the cylinders in that way that it put the marks back together. This happens automatically by a color matrix system with cameras or even manual by the press operator. And once the cylinders are back in position so that the marks are back on top of each other, you can see then that you will have a perfect printout on paper. The conclusion to this story is that in this way of working you need a lot of templates, in this case 4, and you also need to add the marks manually and remap the colors for the marks yourself. GapFinder does this in an automatic way. It adds the marks, it shifts everything along just with one template. You can see now in the end result that the marks are being put back together on the press and that we have the same image as we started with. I'd like to thank you for watching this demo, and for some more information please feel free to have a look at our website at www.compose.co.uk.